Have we
Good
started?
morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining the presentation today. Today, we're going to be talking about modernizing employee experience and improving business outcomes. Thank you for coming to our presentation. This presentation is brought to you by Summit AI and Emt Distribution. In today's market, digital transformation is extremely important. I'm sure we've all heard of the term, and we're all somehow wondering how we can apply it practically to our business. Digital transformation, as many of us know, is the application of processes, products, and assets. It is applying processes to our products and assets, thereby enhancing efficiency and increasing our value in the market to our customers, stakeholders, and so on. But in order to have digital transformation, it's very important to have every employee in the organization engaged in the process to ensure that it is successful. Employees are the core and the soul of a business, and therefore adopting digital technologies for both internal operations as well as external operations starts from employees. In order for a company to adopt digital transformation, there must be the concept of a growth mindset. And a growth mindset means that in order to have digital transformation, every company must think about simplifying the employee experience and empowering employees to work in office when they are mobile. Today, employees don't just work in one location. They're in airports, they're working from home, they're working remotely in coffee shops and so many places. And that's why giving the same experience to the employee, no matter where they are, is part of the digital transformation experience. Every organization enables facilities and services to their employees, and having the right set of facilities and services delivered to employees seamlessly is one of the benefits of digital, particularly for modernizing employee experiences. One more advantage is to have real-time data always available to the management of the company. And all of this put together grows the company to form a growth mindset, which in today's terminology is also closely related to digital transformation. So how do we action this? Most companies that want to adopt digital transformation for modernizing employee as well as customer experiences look for the right tool, and that's what we're here to provide you with an experience with Summit AI. Also, we as Emt Distribution locally provide you local partnerships and local services for the Middle East that will help you bring this closer to your organization. We also offer consulting services, best practices, and installation services, as well as education and trainings on how to implement these solutions to your network or to your organization. We help you implement these both in cloud and on-premise as per your preference. And we have specialized use cases, including personnel who can help you adopt these use cases for any vertical, no matter what kind of industry you are in. So I won't take too much of your time. We are so happy to have you here today, and thank you for joining the presentation. I will hand it over back to my colleagues who will then move on to the next presentation by Mr. Mohammed Mabasir.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I hope you can hear me well.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Nandini, for your great presentation, and thanks for everyone for joining us today. Special thanks to GEC Media Group as well to arranging and organizing this event for us. What we're going to talk today, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. This is Mubasir. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Emt Distribution. So a little bit about who I am. I'm actually actively in cybersecurity and IT market for more than 20 years. Try to be very active in various verticals, as I mentioned, trying to write articles about cybersecurity and IT in general, and of course participating in many conferences in order to make sure we help the industry to grow together better. And of course, for this region, we can bring in a lot of new technologies, which is out there in the market globally, and we try to localize it for the need of the companies and government and organizations in our market, in Middle East, Africa market, where we are representing ourselves. A little bit about Emt Distribution. We are actually a global company, started in 1989, little more than 28 years now, and we started back in Adelaide, in Australia, and expanded the operation in Asia market, in Hong Kong, Singapore, Philippines, and of course, we established our holding company in 2012 in Malta. In 2013, we have started with the Middle East operation, and then we expanded also to other branches in Europe as well as in Africa. As you can see, we have the Kenya operation open in 2020. But a nice and very interesting change happened to our group in 2021. Public listed company Ripe has acquired Emt Group, so that helped us to grow even further and to expand our operation in more countries, with now 20 branches and more than 400 employees. Our focus is about cybersecurity and IT, as I mentioned, plus the services that we're providing. It's very important that whatever solutions and technology we are introducing to market, we are able to deliver services and train our customers and partners and be like a consultant with them in order to help them to utilize these services and solutions much better. So we're working with more than 7,500 customers worldwide, and we provide different kind of services to them. And of course, work with a lot of trusted value-added resellers, system integrators, and of course, global SIs as well. And most of our team members are certified in terms of technical sales, and they're ready to help you in various aspects of the technology. And of course, we are also authorized training partner for so many organizations in the region. So a little bit about how we are actually choosing technologies. So on a regular basis, we are reviewing the reports that are published by a third-party organization. For example, this one is a report from SANS. Every year, they're basically publishing a requirement or critical, top 20 requirements for cybersecurity in the organization. And as you can see, these 20 are the important one that introduced in 2020 for all organizations to have. Interesting to see the first one, or the basic ones, are inventory and control over hardware asset management and software asset management, which you're going to hear a little bit more about it today, as well as, of course, controlling and maintenance and monitoring of services. But beside that, one of the challenges that many organizations are facing today is digital transformation. So many organizations yet not 100% digitalized, so they have so many services are not offered digitally. So they are trying to transform and go to digital environment and make everything served digitally to their customers and employees. And of course, there are a lot of advantages which we're going to see from today's presentation, how we can help you achieve that, including productivity, including reduce of cost, including the optimization of operation, and of course, increased retention of customers and employees. These are very important for every business to survive and to grow to the next level in today's market. As you can see, a lot of organizations that are in top 100 brands worldwide with the highest revenue, they're all try to digitalize their services starting from a few years ago, and they're improving on a regular basis. One of the challenges that many organizations are facing nowadays to go digitally and then offer everything digitally, or try to adopt themselves with digital transformation, is actually digital culture. So as you can see, there are a lot of surveys out there that a lot of digital transformation projects has been failed due to various reasons. But one of the main one actually was the culture and behavior challenges. So at Emt with Summit AI, we're going to help you not only to successfully go digital transformation project, but also help you with the digital culture, which is one of the more important aspects to digital transformation. So to achieve that, we're actually offering various solutions and technologies which can fulfill your digital transformation required, as well as cybersecurity requirements. So with this kind of solutions and this, this kind of technologies, we are able to offer you a complete solutions for your organization, whether it is cybersecurity, management, digital transformation, and beyond that. So to achieve that, we're actually working with many leaders in the technologies, as you can see a lot of them here. And of course, today we're going to focus on Summit Ai, one of our strategic partners in the area of digital transformation and ITSM and ITAP. So you're going to hear more about this solution as well today. So a little bit about our coverage. So Dubai office actually covering various countries and regions from here. So Middle East, Africa, India, as well as Turkey are managed from this office. So Dubai is the headquarters for Meta, as well as India, that manages the EMT group business for these regions, as I mentioned. I think you have seen this slide before, but this is the area of practices. We focus on various, areas. Cybersecurity is our key. When we started, of course, about 3 years ago, we focused a lot about consulting and ICT management. And this is actually a key to our business at the moment. Network data center, education, MSP and cloud, and industrial security and management, which of course we can talk about in another presentation if needed. So we are very proud of having some of the top customers in the region, using our solutions and services from various countries, from Dubai, from UAE, from Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, and also as well as in Africa. They trusted us, and of course, we have received a lot of awards regarding our, distribution, regarding our services, our training, partner program, and so many more. So this is very important for us that the largest organization in the region trusted our products and services and our technology vendors. Of course, as we discussed, services is very important. That's why about 4 years ago, we have launched EMT Care. EMT Care actually is going to help every organization to receive additional services from EMT. Whether you buy any of our technologies, you can receive EMT Care packages, which actually helps you to maintain the services well, and of course gives you a couple of complementary services and solutions when you're acquiring any solution and services from EMT. So one of the more important one is actually health check. So we do regular health check when you become a customer to make sure our solution is implemented and functioning correctly in your environment. As I mentioned, training is the key for us, and we do offer on a regular basis a lot of free training, whether it is product-specific training or vendor-neutral training. You can actually join these kind of free stations that is very informative and give you ideas about the challenges in the market, the new trends, new technologies, and sometimes you're focusing on particular technologies in a technical manner, so you can learn more about, the emerging technologies which is out there. And finally, we have introduced market magnitude technology seminars, and we have done a lot of these events in various years. Of course, 2020 and 2021, it was difficult to do physical events, but we're more than happy to do this kind of events in your country for your employees or customers to basically educate them about the new trends, educate them about the new technologies, and of course challenges and support, challenges that they have and support they can receive from our side. We participate in many events. We are more than happy to join any events with you guys in your own region and country in order to, represent our products and services to your customers or your employees. Finally, the education we're focusing from 3 years ago, and there are so many emerging technologies that we are focusing on educating customers and partners across the region. We're representing an American firm called CertNexus. So we're offering training around cybersecurity, Internet of Things, data science, AI, and more for different level of management, technical people. And most of these certifications are accredited by, of course, KHDA in Dubai, ANSI, and Department of Defense, and so many more. So if you're interested in any of this training, you can actually get in touch with us, and then we can support you in that. Just for your information, some of these trainings is already part of EMT Care. So when you become a customer or partner, you're going to receive some of these trainings as complimentary. I try to be quick. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I would like to hand over to Satyan, the CEO and CEO at Symphony Summit AI. And that was going to be a more interesting presentation we're going to see today. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mobesari and Nandini, for a very interesting presentation. I just wanted to confirm, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I think.
We can. Yeah.
Okay. I'm hoping that you're able to see my screen and not just my video.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Perfect. Okay. So again, thank you, Nandini and Mr. Mobesari, for a great introduction to EMT. We are extremely proud and happy to have EMT as our distributor in the Middle East and Africa region. Today's conversation is about how can we reimagine employee-first digital experience. Let me go back a step and introduce myself as to what is that I have been doing. I have been working in the technology industry for close to 30 years. In the last 8 years, I've been president and CEO at Symphony Summit AI. Previous to that, I was a VP of System X division for IBM for India and South Asia. And previous to that, I ran a mid-market business for Dell. And I had a chance to also build a company of my own and then exit it. It is a mid-sized $30 million revenue company called Vintage Group, which I exited in 2008. So in the entire journey of last 30 years of my career, I think I've been an entrepreneur. I like building businesses. I've been a business leader. I work with small companies and the large multinationals. But most importantly, I think I'm a technology evangelist. I'm very excited with technology, both personal and business. And being part of technology industry, kind of motivates me to get up every day and go to work, because there's so many things happening. And you've seen the evolution from personal computers to mobile phones to smartphones to cloud to now AI and automation. There is really no end to what you can do with technology. And I remain excited about technology evaluation as part of my personal passion. In the last 8 years that I've been running Symphony Summit, Symphony Summit AI is a part of a $1 billion Symphony AI group. We are based out of Palo Alto, North America. We started about 8 years ago as a IT management company. And I'm proud to say that I was lucky to get a team of smart people working at Summit AI, which has helped us to grow to become a disruptor and a fast emerging player in the IT management space worldwide. Today, we have customers across the entire globe, starting with North America and going up to Japan. We have our physical presence in North America. We have a sales team in there. We have sales team in Southeast Asia, in Malaysia region. We have a sales team in India, and now we have a presence via EMT in the Middle East and Africa region. So we are very focused on being close to the customers and partners we serve and working with our distribution partners or integration partners to deliver the best value, which is the reason not only we are a disruptor and fast emerging player in IT management, but over the last 3 years, we are also the most preferred enterprise class ITSM solution, competing against some of the leading names such as ServiceNow or BMC. For the last 3 years, consistently Gartner users, the customers are rating us higher than others in what they call a peer insight customer choice recognition that Gartner has every year. If you see year 2020 missing here, that's because they did not have, due to pandemic for that year, the same recognition. Not only we are highest rated on overall basis, but even the subcategories such as our customers' willingness to recommend our solution or our product capabilities or our ease of contracting and working together with our customers and partners, integration with our technologies in the business, and service and support. Pretty much on all parameters, we continue to be rated higher. This is the focus for us because with about $1 billion of funds at our disposal to invest in technology and go to market, our primary focus is to create value for our customers. And that's what we continue to do. And we're excited to do that in the region along with EMT. In the last 7-8 years, we have now 240 plus blue chip customers across the globe, across multiple verticals, telecommunication, technology and consulting, financial services, healthcare and consumer, auto and manufacturing. Essentially, Summit Ai has been working with all the upper mid-market, large enterprise customers to build value around digital transformation and IT and enterprise service management. So while that is what we have achieved in Summit Ai, today I want to talk less about Summit Ai and more about what I think is a subject of high passion for me. And that is about how a robust digital employee experience is the most impactful investment any organization can make. Now, we all talk about digital transformation, and I will go through how the digital transformation works both internally and externally in the organization. But last year, about 18 months ago, when the pandemic hit, this is where the difference between the laggards and the outperformers came about. We've seen customers, companies, different businesses trying to respond to the pandemic, and there were two types of responses. Some of the companies who were somewhat laggards were caught off guard because they had not probably prepared for a digital world that was about to come in. Quite a few of them went into survival mode, just focus on keeping the basics, that is keeping the lights on, trying to make sure the business runs as much as possible, and made choices at the moment, in the moment, to keep catching up with what was going on around the world. On the other hand, quite a few companies, quite a few businesses actually used the pandemic, and many of you are probably from those companies who have used this opportunity to accelerate digital transformation and investment in that area. We've seen people responding rapidly with working from home environment or working remote environment. Even this conversation that we are having today, we could have had in a hotel room somewhere, but we are now having remotely and quite effectively so. Many of the companies focus on employee and digitizing working business processes and essentially making sure that they are putting distance between themselves and their competitors. However, one thing that emerged quite clearly is that most of the transformation initiatives were mainly customer centric. The question that we should ask ourselves is, who serves the customers? And the answer is that your employees, either your employees or your extended ecosystem, such as your partners or agents who serve the customers. And what is your digital strategy for employee-first customer experience? That's the subject of my presentation today. I strongly believe that no digital transformation is complete unless it is driven both inside and outside of the organization. Because as much as we can create digital transformation initiatives for customer service, unless we also enable our employees to effectively deliver that customer service or that customer value to the external customer by creating similar internal employee experience ecosystem, we're going to have a little bit half outcome from the digital transformation initiatives that we are driving in the enterprise. As Nandini mentioned in her slides earlier, it is clearly emerging that as we are working to create value, working with growth mindset, and working to serve our customers, employees are turning out to be our greatest strengths. And with a rapid changes in the society, such as the change in the economy, change in the digital economy on the consumer side of business, the way the new generation of employees expect digital to be the first place to go, it is emergent that so CXO should focus on technologies that will deliver higher employee engagement, leverage the technology to get the higher employee productivity, a workflow technology that will drive velocity of business processes, as well as collaboration across multiple silos or multiple functions within the industry. And last but not the least is to leverage also uh, the latest technologies that are available today, which is AI and automation, to make sure that the entire workflows work effectively and create value for the business. Let me elaborate this with an interesting example about this. This is one of us, one of our employees, one of us, somebody like you and me, which a person spends about 40%, 50% of the waking hours at office working as an employee, but the rest of the life that we have over the weekends as well as outside office hours, we are a consumer. And you know that in the last 5 to 10 years, there is a dramatic change in how we consume things as a consumer that also has gotten accelerated, especially in the last 2 to 3 years due to pandemic. Today, most of our services that we consume are available digitally, whether it is requesting a cab, whether it is ordering electronics or ordering anything from various e-commerce sites, ordering food, or booking tickets, or anything that you do are essentially available on a mobile phone and extremely easily done. What is important is that most of these technologies that we enjoy as consumers have some common characteristics. They are easily available, accessible, mostly on your mobile phone. They are designed extremely smartly. They are intuitive and menu driven. So you know exactly what you're going to do as you engage with those technologies. They are highly predictable. Uh, they also are very smart in keeping you updated and keeping you alerted on things that may be going on based on whatever request that you have asked that technology to fulfill for you. And last but not the least, you also know that there is something called a timeliness of your service request fulfillment, which is what we call in technical parlance SLA, service level agreement, that you actually enjoy whether you order a cab or a food or a grocery or anything else that you order on a personal level. But same employee, when he or she goes to office, has this complex things going on. When you look at requesting something from a function like HR or finance or IT or admin or facilities, we all use complex documentations, emails, Excel sheets, phone calls. Essentially, the entire workflows that we use today in most companies internally to make our employees more efficient is extremely complex, manual, and somewhat old school. Now, if you can imagine, if you are able to create something like a single service portal, which can transform everything that we do within the enterprise as a digital workflow and bring in all the goodness of personal technologies such as easy access, uh, collaboration, flexibility, updates and alert, SLA, as well as bring in additional benefits of omni-channel access, such as access to not only mobile phone, but through web, through maybe a virtual agent that you can chat with, a multi-tenant setup, which can have multiple functions as single tenants and then work across through a collaboration system. This can actually dramatically transform employee engagement, employee productivity, and the business productivity in general. What we are proposing here is Summit IT and Enterprise Service Management is that single service portal that can help you bring all of this together for your employees so that your digital transformation initiatives are not just external and customer facing, but also complete both inside and outside by bringing all your employee workflows and customer workflows together to service eventually the end customer that all of us are striving to service successfully. Let me walk you through some workflow use cases to elaborate the point I'm making. This is a typical employee journey. Employee gets onboarded, goes through a cycle of training, access to technology, provide computer, install the software, maybe provide a facility, office space, or provide other equipment that is required to do the work. Other operational requests such as office supplies, travel, maybe office relocation, employee queries, including salary queries or healthcare insurance queries or reimbursement request or paid time off. All of this, you can imagine that while the employee is hired to serve the customers, there are multiple departments in the company which are in effect serving the employee to deliver the services such as access to IT, access to information, access to HR services, access to facility services. Even offboarding, when the employee leaves the company, there is a last step of closing all the accounts, making sure that everything is closed, the last settlement is done, the equipment is taken back, and then there's a clean exit of the employee. Now, in most companies, these processes are done manually, and as you do manually, you have no traceback, you have no SLA, and you tend to see employees a bit frustrated because a lot of time is wasted getting these services delivered. If you imagine the common service desk that can serve the employee across all functions, many of these processes can be driven smoothly through a service management workflow, and actually some of them are also cross-functional. So you have a new employee joining where HR has to provide the badge and all the HR services, but at the same time IT has to provide the email address and the equipment, and all of that can be driven through a single workflow so that employee actually gets a great onboarding experience and then of course a great working experience through the cycle of onboarding to offboarding. Another example is when you look at a organization which has multiple functions, half of it is customer facing, functions such as sales, pre-sales, technology sales, maybe customer service or implementation or anything that you have for your business. They are facing the customers. And today in the complex businesses, all these offerings that are being created for the customers are actually created in the strategy functions such as product management team, or there's a learning academy that can take the knowledge of what the product or services are to the front end team. There is marketing, which is creating opportunities for the sales teams in the front end, documentation team or knowledge team that is bringing all of the knowledge to the delivery teams. Now, you can imagine that to be able to successfully serve the customers, the front-end customer-facing teams are required to continuously seek services from the back-end teams, which are actually there to make them more successful. But in today's operations, most of the time, these conversations happen through either emails or collaborative channels like Teams or Slack. However, in that whole process, what is missed here is the control, the speed, and the SLA that these teams actually desire to serve their customers better from the backend team. Now, imagine if all of this workflow in terms of whatever these teams require, like a comparative deck against the competition or case studies for the prospect or documentation for making sure certain features are very well implemented or customer issues to be fixed from various backend team through a service workflow, you can first drive a very tight workflow so that everything is well-designed steps, and you can also drive a responsiveness which is desired eventually to serve the customers better. Another interesting case study I can talk about is what actually happened in Symphony Group itself. Unfortunately, in May and June in India, we went through what we now call a second wave of COVID pandemic. We have about 1,500 employees in India and distributed in the large geography of India, where as a company, as a group, we decided to supplement the various healthcare efforts by providing our employees with access to equipment such as oxygen concentrators and other support that they might require. Now, while it was a good idea to execute this across a large geography like India, seamlessly and smoothly was extremely important so that we can have a fair process and we make sure that we respond to our employee requests. The oxygen concentrator that we imported were available for employees, employee relatives, friends, and anybody else that they could, but on a first come first serve basis, on a rational allocation basis. It took about half an hour to 45 minutes for us to set up this entire process in Summit AI, by which we could create a complete controlled logistic process of request validation, and request fulfillment through a logistic process. And then, of course, there was the reverse logistic process to recover all of this back into a system. This was actually very well appreciated by our employees. We were able to support a lot of our employees and their families and friends and relatives on a timely basis. So a couple of cases like this, one is just pure play employee experience, other is driving collaboration across multiple employees within the enterprise, and hopefully it doesn't happen again, but if it does happen, crisis response by using digital workflow system to save lives for everybody that we could at that time. Essentially, the point is that you are looking for workplace technologies that have to keep pace with consumer technologies. And to deliver the next generation employee experience, we have to have a platform which can allow cross-functional employee journey, quick and easy access anytime, anywhere through omnichannel support, such as mobile phone, a virtual agent, web, telephony, email, and using that, unlock the productivity of the business when you work across silos using digital workflows and automation. The outcome is that employees are more engaged, they are more satisfied, and they're more productive at work, which is what all of us are driving in this competitive world. So I'll repeat that the single message I want to leave the audience here with is that a robust digital employee experience is the most impactful investment your organization can make today. What are the elements that you should look for if you were to look at such a service management platform? One is it has to deliver exceptional employee experience with omnichannel engagement, something that they experience in their personal consumer life is what they should experience when they are your employees working at the office. It should also ensure that it allows a self-service with knowledge intelligence, because self-service is the fastest service. All of us know that. So once you're able to serve yourself, you can quickly go and clear the queue for another employee who might need the service. It should allow rapid rollout of services and workflows, such as what I just spoke about, the COVID crisis service that we launched for our employees in like 45 minutes. We were ready to roll. It should leverage technology such as AI and automation, which can help drive both speed as well as accuracy of services. Given that organizations are complex setups with multiple functions and sub-functions, it should be a robust, large, enterprise-wide, scalable, multi-tenant platform. At the same time, it should be easy to administer with preferably a low-code and no-code technology. At the end of it, it has to also work with other technologies within the enterprise, such as ERP or HRS system, which should be obviously integrable. And last but not the least, it should provide the leadership with detailed insight and analytics to know exactly what is going on, what additional services may be required, and how you can continuously use the platform to deliver better employee services. I'm happy to share that at Summit AI, we are one such platform. We are a robust enterprise-class AI-driven IT and enterprise service management platform with our key offerings including IT service management, employee service management, asset management. As Mr. Mobusari alluded to the point that asset management is another offering that we have, which is focused on IT asset and non-IT asset, driving to enterprise security, and service automation, which is essentially using automation to speed up the process and the service and the workflows to deliver services faster. All of this is further enhanced by our system of intelligence called Cindy, which is Conversation Interface and Decisioning Engine. It's a chatbot manifested AI technology, which does a lot of self-service as well as AI agent-led service for employees and customers. So that's additional layer that we have. And like I said, it's a multi-tenant platform, which allows you to use the entire service management workflow ecosystem across multiple functions such as IT, HR, facilities, finance, marketing, legal, and a lot of other possibilities that there exist. We are available in the region through EMT, and we have Naveen Nair, who handles the region, currently based out of Mumbai, India. So please reach out to either Ahmed or Naveen or EMT or Summit AI on our website for more information. I thank you again for your attention, and I'm happy to take any questions that there may be. Thank you very much. I'm giving it back to the moderator.
Thanks, Satyan.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Jay from the Summit AI team. First, I would like to thank Nandini and Mr. Mubasari for insight on EMT, and also thank you, Mr. Vyas, on the Summit AI. And employees are your greatest strength. That's so true, and I'm sure everybody on this call, on this webinar, are going to definitely agree with that. Having said that, today I'm going to give you a quick showcase of few of the things what Satyan mentioned on his presentation. Quickly showcase this. Just before that, confirmation, can everybody see my screen?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. All right, so this is the Summit AI's self-service portal page. Now, we're talking about employees' engagement, productivity, ease of use. So when we look at that, we're looking at different services which come from, you know, different different departments here, right? So you would have services coming from the IT department, you have from human resources, marketing. So we're making it easy for employees and consumers here to have access towards it. So if you look onto the screen, it's just a few tabs away. You don't have to toggle between from one web page to another web page within your intranet. Everything is available on this self-service portal, which is available right here. Right, just to give you an example, so when you look at IT services, you have a view which is right now in front of you. Now let's move on to human resources. It's a little different, but then you have everything related to HR. When you talk about policies, procedures, and you need help from the HR team, you have those options coming up here. And same thing is an extension to marketing and so on and so forth. So you have not just HR services marketing, but you can talk about facilities, administration, logistics. All of this is capable within the Summit AI team here. Just a few examples, and each one can have their own set of workflows, own set of services they render to their employees, customers, make it easy from a point of view here. Now, when we talk about workflows, you also heard Satyan talking about SLAs. So everything in Summit AI is quickly configurable. It's a simple click, drag and drop, and you have right from designing this page, this portal page, self-service portal page, to anything around. I'm talking about these widgets, the labels, everything is totally changeable. Logos, any such thing which you're seeing on your screen can be changed on this, right? So a lot of flexibility around that. Now, we saw the journey of the employee engagement journey. We starting off with onboarding and so on and so forth, a few examples, right? So when we look at services which has been rendered, let's first take a look at when you look at an IT services, right? You have typical IT related laptops, your softwares, your access, your networks, all those is part of this. So as an employee, I have an access to it. All I need to do is go click on it and then have an access to it. So same thing when we look at the journey itself, once the employee is onboarded, right? From onboarding, and if they need access towards services which HR provide, like anything related to employees, like insurance, employee letters, payroll, another very important thing. So you have those accesses coming up. But if you look onto your left, we are a multi-tenant Summit AI portal. So if you see, all different departments are just a click away to see what services they have. Let's take another example here is on the facilities or administration. If you're looking at very simple as stationery or transport, we have an option where you can book a cab, but digitally, if the company wants to organize a camp, so you have transport, you have guests coming in. Unfortunately, it's been pandemic, nobody's coming in, but if that is there, we have options to go there and have those informations here, right? So all of this, but it starts out with a journey when we look at employee onboarding. Just giving you an example here, one of the employee welcome package, what we have is a service request which can be raised either by the HR team, or there can be an hiring team who is part of that journey, and they can go ahead and choose what they need depending on what information they have. You can choose whether you're just doing an employee onboarding, or you're talking about a very specific access, and all this is part of the package. It's part of the same service request. Now from here on, it gets into a complex journey where you have the human resources team being a part of it, providing trainings or providing ID cards and so on and so forth. And also the finance team gets involved, where you provide information on your bank details, which goes to the finance team. They make sure the salaries are getting credited to those bank details, which is part of it. And then obviously the IT team has also been involved in providing the very specific assets, like laptops, a specific laptop if you're looking at it, the right amount of softwares which needs to be a part of it depending on the person who's getting onboarded. And apart from that, we also have the administration of facility team providing the cubicle space and lunch coupons and anything of that. So whole thing can be a part of an employee's journey, starting off from onboarding all the way till they have been offboarded. So all of those examples, if you see the previous ones which we saw, from once they are in, you want to have any questions on payroll, you can go ahead and quickly have a shout out and ask HR team to do that. Anything else from facilities, they can go about doing that information right here, right? Before I get in here, just one more thing is the ease. How easily is it accessible? So one of the first points in the presentation which you saw earlier was the ease of access for the employees. So if you're on this portal, you can just simply come here and then type in, let's say if I'm looking out for salary, and what it does, it helps the employees to understand digitally. It's pretty much like Google. So you have 6 articles here, one of which is knowledge, which is nothing but information about policies on salary. Then you have incidents issues. Probably there are 3 issues. If there's any problem in having the salary getting credited, you have those information, or making any requests. So all of this kind of filters out and helps. And again, it's very easy, just one click away, you click, and the system takes care of this information. So ease of the usage of the portal itself from that perspective, right? Now, the last option, which one of the last presentations, the slides which you saw, was on crisis, right? We were talking about oxygen, what Summit AI did, and all the employees were happy about it. So we have that portal which we spun it off in 40 minutes. So one such information is on the safe workplace. So when you talk about safe workplace, you're looking at the current pandemic which is going on. So you have options to do that. And like Satyan rightly mentioned, 45 minutes it took us to spin this off. Now, just to show you a little more in detail, few of the things when we're talking about cleaning and disinfectant, essential supplies, any of this. So let's just probably take one information here and go through this. Is on if you want to report a COVID case, either on one of your colleagues or yourself, we have options to capture that information. You talk about have you visited the office recently? Yes, no. All of this information, what you're seeing on your screen, is totally configurable by an administrator. Again, just repeating myself, it's a quick click, drag and drop, and you have this information. So now once you have this information filled in, we're not only doing contact tracing of how many whether the person was in contact with any other person, and not only that, how many rooms were visited. So what it immediately does once this form has been filled, it has this information go to the HR team, who take care of the contacts with the person has come in, inform the person's the right amount of people who needs to be taken care of, the hospital and all of that. So all this gets triggered within Summit AI automatically the moment this request has been created. And that's one part of it. The second part is the admin team or the facility team getting in touch, getting the whole place disinfected and making sure it's been cleaned, sealing it off probably for a couple of days, and also that is also being triggered the moment once the form has been filled and clicked on the submit button. it gets automatically triggered. So a lot of flexibility. You get to define what happens at what stage, and it's all through click, drag, and drop. So just to show you that, just give you one last example on click, drag, and drop. So you see, first you can build up that form. You saw that complex form which was there. You can build it up by simply just dragging, dropping the information wherever you want. You can do that. And then this is where you define the workflow of an entire services journey. So whether it's, I mean, it's your employees, they get to see the whole journey. You get to do this information here. Again, even this is a very quick click, drag, and drop. So if you see, I just drag this, drop it here, and then start filling up the required information as an administrator, and then work on it. So all of this is available here. And the final thing on the system of engagement from Summit AI, you heard Satyan talking about Cindy. This is what Cindy is all about. It's a digital AI agent. We have Cindy, which helps the employee's journey, make it more easier, make it more quicker. So Cindy is our digital agent who does that. Apart from that, we have a native mobile app. So all employees can have the Summit AI app in their phones. Is available in Android and iOS. They can download it, have that information, and then work on the mobile app. Apart from the portal and your emails, which is considered standard today, apart from that, we have other systems of engagement. Obviously, we are available in Microsoft Teams, Slack, Jabber. So it is reachable. The Summit AI portal is reachable for employees anywhere here. So that is something which I want to do a quick showcase on from what Summit AI offers to its employees when we look at the digital for employees, making sure it's a single service portal which is available to the employees here. So any questions? I would like to take questions now.
Jay, if you're done, there's also some questions from the attendees.
Sure.
We can take it up, or if you want to continue, we'll do that. Okay, you're done. Thank you so much. Yeah. There's a question come from Mr. Khalid Kamal. He wants to know the difference between Symphony Summit and Servicenow. Mr. Khalid, we will get in touch with you in person. One of our representatives will call on you. We have your contact details from the organizers. We will get in touch with you, Mr. Khalid. There's another question from Mr. Monzir Hussain. The question he's put across is, what is the cost to avail the service for about 40 employees? Mr. Monzir, we will get in touch with you. We have your contact details. One of our representative, Hamad Tello, will definitely get in touch with you post this session. And I appreciate for these questions. Keep posting your questions. Meanwhile, there's a question that has come from one of the non-attendees. He's put it on a mail. I'll just read out this question. I think Satyan, you can answer this. Is Summit AI instance available on Azure platform in UAE? I'll repeat. Is Summit AI instance available on Azure platform in UAE? That's a question. Satyan, you can answer.
Yeah. The answer is yes. The Summit AI is available on Azure platform across multiple geographies. We, in fact, are the Microsoft preferred partner, preferred ISV partners. So we can certainly offer that on Azure for the geography that you're looking for. The answer is yes. And if I may also take a minute to answer the other question, certainly we'll get in touch to discuss more about difference between Servicenow and Summit AI. But one important point I want to bring about is that Summit AI is a newer generation technology. We are far easier to use and execute. It is low code, no code, doesn't require a lot of qualified resources to run our technology. But it also, in return, it delivers exactly similar functionalities, and also with AI and automation, we are a bit ahead to deliver that additional value for our customers. So I'll be happy to have one of our technical people answer that in more details. But certainly, we are seeing ourselves emerging as a great challenger to that technology that we just mentioned. Thank you. Also, thanks, about the one more cloud offering, I already confirmed that we will be able to deliver over Azure in UAE region. Yes. Yes, Gopal.
Been posted is another question that has been posted is Symphony Summit available in Arabic languages? Does your product support in Arabic languages? That's a question that has
Yes.
come up.
Summit AI is available in all the key languages, over 40 languages, including Arabic languages. We in fact have few installations in Arabic language. So answer is simple yes. Yes.
Another great question that has come up, Satyan. I really appreciate the audience asking more questions. How can Symphony Summit AI help organizations in digital transformation? That is a question, interesting question that has come up.
Yes, of course. So one is, I'll connect the dots between what Nandini said, what Mr. Mobasari said, and what I said, is that the elements of great digital transformation is culture. Mr. Mobasari mentioned that. The consulting and processes that Nandini mentioned, and the tools and technology that Summit AI brings. So because we have over 240 plus global customers who are using Summit AI technologies for multiple workflows, digital transformations, employee services, IT services, initiatives, we have a reasonably robust experience with us. We have subject matter experts in our pre-sales and post-sales teams. Along with EMT, we can actually, help customize. Customize is the wrong word. Help configure, because Summit is all front-end configurable. Help configure Summit AI for a specific set of use cases that your enterprise might require. So we can not only bring the best of the technologies and tools, but also will bring in the consulting and knowledge practice via EMT and Summit AI to make sure that you actually are successful in your initiatives if you choose EMT and Summit AI as partners for this initiative. Does that answer the question, Gopal? Hopefully it does.
Yes, Satyan, thank you. There's no further questions come up on the same point. Listeners, any other questions, you can post it on the chat box. We'll just give it a minute or 30 seconds. We'll just wait for any more questions coming in. I don't see any more questions coming in, Satyan and Nandini. We are available, audience, thank you. We are available here. Nandini, Hamad Tello, and my colleague Naveen are all available. You can keep posting your questions or write back to us. Nandini, over to you if you would like to make a closing comment on this session.
I would like to thank every one of you who attended the call today, and hopefully we were able to deliver some good points, both for your knowledge as well as to apply in your businesses. I would like to thank the speakers, Mr. Satyan, Mr. Mobasari, for your great presentations today, and also for the demo, which was done by Jay. Thank you for the demo. Lastly, of course, we would like to thank GEC Media for bringing us all together today. And thank you to the audience. Thank you for your questions. We shall stay connected. It was great having you today.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.